Hello and welcome to my round 19 review of my AFL fantasy team, The Crew. I'm recording this pretty late. I'm all snugged up in my dressing gown, but we're going to get this video done, out, and completed for you guys to take a look at tonight, if not tomorrow. And let's just have a go through what was a very interesting round. Let's get straight into it. So first off, as you can see, the Crew have managed to land a pretty strong score this week of 2262. 2,262. Pretty good score. That is a round rank of 3,508, which is pretty nice. No complaints there. That has moved our rank up. I believe it was 23,000th. We're now into almost the top 20k. Man, it would be nice to be the top 20k one day. We did make a few interesting trades this week. One of them I do regret. Well, actually, they're both pretty ordinary trades, really. But one of them was Connor Buderick out, and we brought in Artemis, who was a new starting debutant. Obviously, Artemis was the first pick of the mid-season draft. Seemed like a really promising target. And then Jai Sarong, out of here, done. Probably lost about 30 or 40k on him than I should have, maybe more than that. But took him out and we brought in Lockie Whitfield for that Essendon matchup. Seemed like a great idea at the time. Obviously, in hindsight, both of these trades were pretty ordinary. But let's go through the team and see exactly how it all broke down. As you can see, we start with John Noble, a 105, coming off that injured game last week, and did field up this week, which was awesome. Really, really happy with that. He was my top scoring defender this week. I actually think he was one of the top scoring defenders this week. It was after last week's huge defending round this week, all of those same players just came out and did fucking crap. So cheers for that, defenders. Noble was pretty strong. Gold Coast were pretty ordinary against the the Western Bulldogs. I like him. I'm holding him to the end of the season, unless his leg snaps in two. I'm pretty happy for him to stay right there at D1. Lockie Whitfield came out with an 89 paired with Ash. Turns out when the two of them are there and the and the Great Western Sydney Giants are losing to Essendon in the easiest matchup in the AFL, they both get 89s. Who fucking knew? Little disappointing. Well, very disappointing. What else is there to say about it? I don't know exactly what happened. I believe Zach Merritt was somewhat keeping some attention on Lockie Whitfield. I read about that. I didn't see much, if any, of this game. Lockie Ash, I saw spent some time in the midfield. They just weren't getting their marks, neither of them. What do we get? We got an 89. We have, 3 marks for Whitfield and 3 marks for Whitfield, 5 marks for Ash. It's not good enough, simply put, for these guys. I don't know why they couldn't get it together against such an easy matchup. Whatever. Disappointing trade in. Similarly disappointing was Luke Parker. Up against Melbourne. Fuck, I'm tired tonight. Up against Melbourne, he just lost his cool. I've had him for some really good matchups now. We've had 103 tons, 196, and now 63, falling off a little bit. Didn't take as many intercept marks as he usually does. In fact, he only took the 1 mark for the game. Just didn't get enough, and there were plenty of kick-in opportunities. He just was ignored. Bad luck. I think we still hold him. Just a bit of bad luck. Josh Dacos is 81. Honestly, it looked better. He was quite active. He landed a few nice tackles. Was it a few tackles or just the one? He landed 4 tackles, which is pretty nice. Didn't get the marks this game. So a bit painful, but the Pies played well. Big Pies fan, so loved seeing them wallop Carlton. And Cal Wilkie just forgot to make his that 60-point quarter that he usually does. So that is disappointing after such a strong round last week. He did a really strong few weeks. A 56 was disappointing. It was always going to be tough because of the ground and because the Geelong matchup, they do have a serious, was it Neil? They have a couple of really strong forwards. Cameron was out though, so I don't really know why Wilkie couldn't score. Didn't watch this game, so no idea. Not good enough, though. And Artemis came out playing his first game of AFL football, wanting to impress, and he said, hold my beer. actually give it back because I can get nothing and the Bombers are still going to win. So I don't know if he was magic, but he scored a 32. He made 5K. And all those who missed him are devastated. They cannot believe they've got to pay that extra 5K next week when they trade him in. It is just a disaster. And Harry Kyle didn't play. So disappointing. Terrible backline, really. Midfield, though, was also pretty ordinary. Nick Dacos 113. Now, he played very well. I can't really complain. He was taking a few kickouts. He was just his normal running sort of percentage, high effort. So I very much appreciate him getting it done. There wasn't a huge amount of attention. I think Hewitt might have tried. Maybe there was a couple others, but nah, they just basically let him do what he wanted. And 113 was what he wanted. So Jordan Dawson with a 102. The Adelaide Crows played really well. They walloped, not walloped. Wait a second. Yeah, no, they beat Sydney, didn't they? They managed to beat Sydney, which is a really big win for them. I thought they were a pretty ordinary team this season, but they've managed to get together. So, well done, Dawson. 102's fine. I thought he was going to do better. He only had the 23 disposals, a few marks, number of tackles, no goals this week, which is part of the reason his score was lower. I think he usually gets a few goals for these bigger scores, is what it is. So whatever, Zach Merritt bouncing back after the 35. At quarter time, he was on exactly 35 points, which was just funny after last week's incredible 35-point game. So he bounced back to all the coaches that were panicking about him. Hopefully you didn't trade him out. I know a few people would have been tempted to take him to Will Ashcroft, who put up a 108 this week. So that would have been a bad trade, losing you 15 points had you taken Zach Merritt to Will Ashcroft. Part of the reason, if you're trading your premiums, you better be bloody sure. At this part of the season, you might as well be, but it's a tough call, man. It really is. Isaac Heaney's 92. He's done a couple of ordinary games in a row. He's almost at the point where I might consider, because he's not the highest time on ground guy. What's Sydney's fixture like? Now, we've got Giants who just suck balls. Marvel. There's two potential tags back to back. Essendon's a big score, though. There would be a world I considered trading Heaney to like a Baz, because Baz's matchup, Baz's final couple of, like, what's his run home? It's very good. How nice is that? Melbourne, Collingwood, Essendon, North, and Richmond. And Richmond. Now, of course, this North game isn't actually that good because Finn O'Sullivan destroyed Bailey Smith last time. So I'm not really sure whether that's worth trading. I mean, it probably is still worth trading Bailey Smith in. I've got a different plan for this week so far, but we'll see. Bontempelli 106 up against the Gold Coast Suns. He has had a pretty season, really. A couple of good scores, a 143 or 130, but the rest have been low to medium tons and 80s, 90s. So don't love having him in my side, but he has Richmond this week, so there's no way you're trading him going into Richmond. Ed Richards was also, he only got a 72. He played a lot of time at halfback this week. He also had a very low time on ground. There was an injury scare at one point, so I just think he was sort of on the back burners and wasn't playing his best football. Tonight he had low disposals. As you can see, every other game this season, he's had 28 disposals, 29 disposals, 23, 28. That's how he gets these scores. This one, he took a few, maybe, not even more marks, but he took 4 marks. He just had less of the ball. He just wasn't around as much. Disappointing. He's a ball. He likes to go get it, and he didn't get it. George Hewitt was unfortunate. He looked tired. He was presenting, but he wasn't the incredible midfield pick I'd hoped. The Collingwood matchup was supposed to be pretty favourable, but that didn't happen, didn't really eventuate. There is a world where we trade George Hewitt and try to get him up to like a Bailey Smith or something. I'm tempted. I'm not really sure if I'll be doing that this week, but maybe. And Matthew Kennedy, I'm concerned about him. A 93, that was with 3 goals, I believe. It was with 3 goals and 6 marks. And he was basically not really a big midfielder. I saw him forward a lot. I'm sure he probably was around the ball a fair bit, but I don't know. He had a good game. Like the people were, the commentators were praising him, but a 93 wasn't really good enough, to be honest. Hawkahan with a 78. Didn't see this, but good on him. Keeps making me money. Appreciate him. Fitzgerald going to make another 45k. That's basically the same what he scored. He just was really, really sleepy this game. After a huge game last week, he is now saying, that's all the effort I had, man. I'm right back down to my sweet 55% time on ground, barely counting. So great work there, Fitzy. Great work. Rowan Marshall, he played really well. He had, I believe it was the highest contested possession game or something like that. For a St Kilda player, he had something like 26 contested possessions. With how many possessions did he have overall? He had 30. Is that right? 33. So most of them were contested. Good on him. He only had 2 tackles and 4 marks. So he just had a lot of the ball. He also got 30 hitouts, which is more than he usually does. It was that sweet Geelong matchup we were talking about. So happy days. We VC'd him on the Thursday night, made the rest of the weekend very relaxing. Kalani White was a fantastic captain, playing just brilliant stuff. Luke Jackson, I regret trading him in so bad. He put a 166 up, and then he's been the world's most lukewarm ruck ever since. And I'm not loving it. He doesn't look great either. He really doesn't look great. There's I think I got hyped in. I got hyped into him, and I didn't really look at him myself. He's losing money. He's down to 981. Gawn is not that far away from him, really. But Max Heath was back in this week, and Gawn suffered for it. Actually, he didn't even suffer that much. His normal time on ground. Fuck knows. 8 marks for Gawn, no tackles. Cherry was really ordinary, though. The ruck line is just abysmal at the moment. It really is. Darcy Cameron has been basically the highlight ruck other than Rowan Marshall. So I really regret getting rid of him. I think most people do, getting rid of Darcy Cameron. So anyway, the forward line, however, is where I shined this week. Harry Sheasel with the 126 we all loved to have. Brad Hill with a 88. He saved that relatively well in the last quarter with a few marks and kicks and whatnot. So well done there. 88 was pretty all right. No complaints. Max Hall getting it done again with a 101. Talk about a pick of difference that has actually been pretty good. Now, obviously, 274s was pretty shit. Whatever. But this patch here where he went 98, 196 into another ton, a couple of ones, and then a 152 and a 101. He is getting it done. He is going to be a great pick, and I'm really, really happy with his time. Garcia is a pick I wish I had as well. I'd heavily consider getting Garcia because he has just been really, really good as well. Tuke Miller was prominent. And I'm starting to think that Tuke Miller's scoring directly relates to whether there is someone that Gold Coast decide that they need to tag now, except for this Richmond game. But if they put Tuke tagging as someone, he just gets busy. He has a purpose. Like he knows what to do. Otherwise, he just floats around. Maybe he gets a bit of the ball. Maybe he doesn't. He tags Nick Dacos and goes to 111. He doesn't do shit to anyone, even though he really should have probably gone to Rankin or something. He might have actually. I didn't watch that game. I have no idea. But he got a 67. That being said, Adelaide destroyed the Gold Coast that week. And then this week, he was somewhat playing on Butters, Richards, that kind of group through the midfield. And he was busy. He was taking a lot more marks, a few more tackles. He was just good. So with that in mind, he has Carlton coming up. He might try and do a job on Cripps or something. Yeah. Pickett maybe, but he did badly against the Melbourne Demons earlier in the season. Gold Coast, are you really going to tag Finn Callahan? Is he really that good? Oliver? Brisbane Lions, I guess you'd try and tag Neil or Washcroft. And of course, we've got Naz in the final game. So I'm not a hold Took. I was considering trading him a few weeks ago. Might as well. He's getting the job done. Now, here's a guy that I think needs to go. He's owned by 17% of the competition. He's a good player, but he doesn't score well because his team suck balls. Simply put, that's all I've got for you. His team don't know how to kick little short ones that marks that he can take. He gets caught holding the ball a few times. Freeze against, he had 2 this week. He gets 2-2-2. Like, he does lose a lot of points. I'm thinking that we just go for it with Sam Durham. Like, I'm thinking maybe we just grab him. We just get rid of him. And we take him up to like a Tom Sparrow type, who's in a better team, with a better role, with better consistency for high scoring. Because if Tom Sparrow came out and scored an 80, you'd be like, that was a bit low. Sam Durham does this an 80, you go, I'm not surprised. You know, I'd like that next caliber up. Joe Richards, 137. Holy fuck, my boy. You rewarded the faith. I brought him in for a 90 and 260s. And my boy said, don't you worry. I got you. I reward your faith. 137. 0.88% of the competition. We're very, very happy that Joe Richards got his midfield time. Jason Horne-Francis wasn't there to make it all about him. And I'm actually going to put out there, Hornet and Joe Richards look pretty similar. I reckon these games where he got 68s, that the competition has mistaken some of Joe Richards' contributions as the Hornet, giving Hornet more points than Joe Richards. That's all I'm going to say about that. And I'm really, really happy with that. He's spread for marks. They were competitive with Fremantle. This was a tough game. That's tackles, actually. Tackles and marks. He won a few free kicks where he was holding the ball. He didn't give away anything. He even kicked a goal. I was very happy with Joe Richards, and we're going to keep him in our forward line. He is the same as like a Max Hall type who's getting his chance, and he's taking it with both hands. So hopefully he keeps that going. And look at this. Trade of the year, Stephen Coniglio, pulling out a 75 now that he is not on my bench. He's not on field. That's great. 63 into a 40 into a 75. So just great stuff there from Coniglio. Just top notch. Made me 12K. Cheers, mate. Fucking cheers. And the others didn't play. So now we're looking at, well, first off, let's have a look at our head-to-head league. We had a matchup completed fixture. Here we go. Fixtures. I went up against the Bagged Boys this week, and we managed to win by 99 points. Wait, no, 101 points. No, 99. I'm ahead, so 99 points. It was a pretty good matchup. People like the Wang going 76, people like Murphy Reed going 45, just didn't work out. I also got the Rowan Marshall VC. He had the Bailey Smith one, which is about a 42-point difference. So that's already half the margin that I won by. So just a few things like that really helped get this across. He also had Sam Banks on field. What an unbelievably poor pick he has been for those who grabbed Sam Banks. I mean, sucks to be you guys. Fuck, man. I'm glad I didn't quite do that, but Max Holmes is also injured. So for those who have Max Holmes and need to trade, I am nervous for you because you're trying to trade to a backline. Are you trading to Wilkie after his 56? Are you trading to Luke Parker after his 63? Really? I mean, you could. I mean, Wilkie is it North Melbourne? Have a look at Wilkie's run home quickly. If you're considering bringing Wilkie in, look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4 games at Marvel Stadium. So there won't be any rain. That'll be under the roof, nice and safe for Cal Wilkie to take uncontested or just marks in general where he won't drop them because the ball's wet. And the other game is against the Richmond Tigers, who suck balls. So it should be really, really easy for him to still do well there. So in theory, he is a promising pick with a strong line to come. And in theory, he should still be able to spread for a lot of marks. Next week, we have Finn O'Sullivan tagging Naz, and we have James Jordan tagging Naz in back-to-back weeks. So I would not be hanging on to Nasiah for another 76. And by the way, this should have been a 64. hand on my heart, this should have been a 64. Because Hugo Garcia, in the last minute, was free in the middle of the forward line by himself by a country mile. Liam Ryan absolutely ignores Hugo Garcia's obvious, clear, and easy to kick to lead, and instead waits another 2-3 seconds and then kicks to Nasiah Wanganeen-Malera running from the pocket on a tougher angle and a more dicey opportunity to actually get the ball to him and it be and actually reach him. So really that should have been a 64, and that would have been a hell of a lot easier to go up against 64 when my Wilkie was on 56. So a few things like that are just annoying. They do look after him. They just said, Nasiah, you can have the ball because we can't have you having a bad game. Can you imagine the embarrassment? Shit like that. So a little annoying. So that's going to be tough for those who have to trade Max Holmes out. I didn't bring Max Holmes in, not because I thought he was going to be injured. I just didn't. I went against him. I decided I'd bet against Max Holmes. He had a good run. I thought, nah, I'm not bringing him in. And it's going to work out for me because he is out for a while now. And it gives me the freedom to move on someone that most players have. Who do you get rid of? What's the best play? That kind of option. So anyway, very interesting matchup. Great to get a win. I am concerned though because I'm pretty sure I'm still out of contention for the top. There is how many rounds left? Fixtures round 20. Oh, and then there's actually only one round left, which means I think even if I win this round, I can't make the top 8 unless it's top 10, which it might be. These 2 losses were annoying. Percentage, I'm at 99%. What a great percentage. Ugh. Little disappointing. I'm happy we fought back, really. 8, 0, 11, 37,000 is not too shabby. Well done to some of these guys up here, though. He's had a tough run. He's got 38,000. He's ahead he's got the most points in the league, and he's only managed to get his 2 wins down on the on RB Basketball. Anyway. The rest of these fixtures, the Bushwick Bombers defeated Blitzkrieg. Hawk at 4 Mile defeated the Snout Scout. We've got Hawk defeating Clive's Crew. Looks like he top scored in our league for the week. Well done to Hawk. We've got Ruck Fools defeating the Middle Pocket. We've got the Sun Valley Snakes taking on and defeating the Scipionic Circle. We've got RB Basketball just getting the job done over the Wiggles. And of course, Inhaled Tubbs defeating the Badass Charlies. It's going to be very interesting. I don't really... Is there rules? Is there a place I can read? Matchups. Fixtures. I would like to read what the competition is settings. Advanced. Play finals. Oh, damn it. Oh, top 8. So, yeah, finals format is only top 8. So, how many teams play off in your league? Primary finals, 8 teams run over 4 weeks, 6 over 3, 4 over 2 weeks, and 2 over 1. Bugger! Well done. I'm not going to make the finals, unfortunately. That's all but assured because 10 is where the top 8 are. But anyway, should be right. Disappointing. I didn't mean to do that. Let's go back to AFL Fantasy. Let's talk trades for this week. What are the priorities? There are a couple of choices. Do I bring in someone who is hurting me, like a Bailey Smith, who's popping 118s and everyone's getting them? Well, not everyone, 40% of the comp are getting them, and I am not. It feels boring. And the rest of my team hasn't exactly screamed like steady or predictable. There are some strange picks in here. I have 200k left in the bank after last week. I have a couple of very interesting options. The first one I would like to put to you is getting rid of Sam Durham. Now, who do you trade in to replace Sam Durham? Now, it's not going to be Chad Warner. Fuck that guy. It's not going to be Jason Horne-Francis because I don't want to bring in a player and root for him to do well when I have another guy in Richards who will also be trying to do the same thing. And Richards did well because there wasn't anyone bossing him around. I don't really want to bet against that. Tom Sparrow, I'm very tempted by. One of the top forwards, 900k. It's going to cost me a sweet 100 and... Well, let's have a look. How much do I have left? I'm going to have 110k left to go to Tom Sparrow. He put up a 130 this week. Darcy Wilson, 111. He's been going very well for a few weeks now. 90s, 112. So what has he done well? He's gotten a lot of tackles. Tackles. A few marks. And his upcoming fixture, North. He's got a lot of marvels. Is Darcy Wilson an option? How owned is he? He's got 2% ownership. I'm not bringing in Cozzy. Fuck that guy. Rankin is a very realistic option. I don't really want to bring him in against Collingwood. I feel like Allen goes to him. I would be sending Allen to him. He only put up a 92. He then has Essendon Richmond. I would like him for that matchup. I'm tempted though, because I'm not really wanting to trade any of the others in my forward line. So let's say we do that. McDonald put up a good score, by the way. I did consider bringing in McDonald, but I would have had to put up with a 66. But then he went 114 into 109. So he would have been a good trade the week I got rid of, the week I brought in whoever it was, Caniglio instead of McDonald. Brian Myers, I'm not bringing him in. Reed sucked. Bailey Williams is still doing well, but I'm not trading him in. Another 100. He's been good for me in draft. I'm not bringing in Mason Wood, though he did. All right. How did Langdon go? 74. Sanders, 71. A lot of these guys. Tim Kelly, 86. Jager Smith, 92. Fisher didn't play. Lipinski with a 75. Petrarca with an 81. Wow. He's actually going to start going up in money soon if you're not careful. Waterman with a 73. I just don't know if I have it in me to bring any of these guys. Van Rooyen with a 62. No. All right, so I would heavily consider bringing in Tom Sparrow, which means let's say we confirm that bad boy right there. Who is the second trade? Who are we going up to? We have 100k in the bank to make an improvement on someone. And I'd be looking at either taking a Kennedy up, taking a George Hewitt up. I could upgrade Luke Jackson all the way up to Max Gawn. Go Max Gawn. I don't really know if I want that, since Jackson could very easily do 110 against any of these guys coming up. He's got the Eagles next week into a Tim English. Tim English was pretty good, actually. How did English go? Ruck line. Grundy has just been horrendous for the last few weeks. Another 80. I'll get rid of the forward status. Tim English put up a 105. Is he back? He took 10 marks. They were looking for him more. He played the ruck line more with 20. Maybe. Who does he have? He has Richmond next week. Should I be bringing in a fourth Dogs player? I've Bont, Richards, Kennedy, and English. Probably not, because they're probably going to be destroyed by Fremantle. That's tempting. Cherry, probably not going him. Cherry has the Saints this week. There's a chance that Rowan Marshall comes back as well, which would be bad. TDK comes back, which means Rowan Marshall might need to be traded out. And if I'm trading Rowan Marshall to a new ruck, are we just going Gawn? Are we really just going Gawn? Are we going back to McAndrew, who put up a 68 on the weekend? Probably not. Am I going back to Darcy Cameron, saying, I'm so sorry, you were the best thing that ever happened to me, I want you back? Is that really what we're doing? Are we going to take a punt on Tim English? How's Nank been going? 76? Probably not. Briggs put up a 130 and then decided he wasn't going to play this week. Sweet put up a 64. Probably not going there. Moyle with an 82. Madden put up a 67. Yeah, we're probably not going Madden. Brian put up a big score, but then got injured at the end of the game. So I don't know about that. So the second trade is interesting. Could I do Heaney to someone? Who would I bring in? Oh, that's... No, you know what? I know what I'm doing. We are going to do George Hewitt. No. Oh, is Hewitt a mistake to keep? Because he looked... on Saturday night, I said to myself, I think I get rid of him. I don't like his lack of interest. I feel like he's back to playing how he did earlier in the season, and maybe his back injury is what was causing that. He had a few really good weeks, and then he fucked up and got himself super injured. So, okay. Let's speculate an idea here. We take either George Hewitt or Matthew Kennedy, one of these two who I've traded in recently who've let me down. Kennedy, I think, has the worst role, but he has Richmond this week, and I would like to keep him around. So perhaps what we look to do, we do George Hewitt up this week. Next week, we're doing Kennedy up to someone else. Or we just say, fuck it, Kennedy, you're probably going to put up a 70 against Richmond anyway because you suck. Ugh, probably not, though. But then Hewitt could very easily remember how to play this week. Is that a risk I really want to take? Probably not. What is the order for games next week? Fixture. Who plays first? Adelaide. Where does St Kilda play? They play at the very end of the round. So I could take a look at... Well, the Bulldogs also play here, so that's probably not going to work. I can't even use the Bulldogs or the... Let's Carlton play. Okay, I guess you could potentially use Hewitt as a look, as a premium here, but then I only have 100k to upgrade someone. I'm not really going to upgrade, like, what, Hall Kahan up, I guess, to a 600k player, 700k player? Probably not. Richards, Merritt, Heaney. All right, let's say we're trading out Hewitt, and we're looking to bring in a midfielder who I believe... Do I have the money? I don't have the fucking money. Damn it, I want to bring in Garcia. I think he'll get it done. Ah, it's so annoying. Okay, so it means I couldn't do Kennedy either, because Hewitt's lost too much money. All right, let's adjust our thoughts. We keep Durham. We hold Durham another week. We trade Caniglio to whatever. No, we're gonna let's cancel that. Confirm. Okay, let's swap him and him, and now we're going to trade Caniglio down. Here is the play. Caniglio to a shitty 230k person who doesn't play very good. Who's probably gonna let's do a prediction. Who's gonna get named this week? Who needs something? Who desperately needs something? Gold Coast. Probably not Gold Coast. Let's see the official debut of... All right, we're going to do the debut of Davis. Here's the prediction. All right. And we're going to get rid of both of those. And we're going to take... can't do it with him. I could take Fitzgerald up. Well, I don't really want Fitzgerald anyway, so we'll take Fitzgerald up to... Ta-da! Fitzgerald up to Garcia, who's made 264k this season just quietly. For those who started him at the beginning, he's been fantastic. He's had a great few weeks, and I really want him to be in my team. I just like the look of him. So that leaves me with 99k, which means I could potentially do this with someone who was 400k, 410k, but I don't know if I have anyone that fits that description. No, I do not. That's fine. I could do Hugo Hawker-Hahn. Wait, is there a world where we do Hugo Hawker-Hahn instead? And we do instead of Caniglio, we need someone who's 300. I can't quite use Harry Kyle. I can't use Banfield either. Damn it! That's fun. Okay, we'll do Fitz and we'll do Caniglio as planned. Alright, let's say we do that for trades. Then what we're doing is we're putting the VC. We want to take a look at someone. We want to take a look at Carlton Saturday day. We want to take a look at Hewitt. Because if Hewitt plays well, like this could be the way we do it for the rest of the season. Let's have a look. When do the Saints play after this week? Okay, so we have Bulldogs here, which is good. And we have Saints here. So Kilda and Carlton are both here, but Bulldogs are here. So we can always use, Bulldogs, 23. We can use, we don't know when the games will be yet. All right. And then last, we still don't know when they'll be. Okay. I like these trades because what this does is it gives me that 23rd premium in the midfield. And it's a guy that I think is still possibly value, putting up more money on his head, putting up more, making better inroads. I still leave 100k in the bank. Next week I can trade Harry Kyle down and put Rowan Marshall up to the best damn ruck I want. You know, there's options there. Durham, I guess, sticks around for his big game against against the Hawks next week. It's just a shocking run home, hey, for the Bombers. I guess we keep Durham. He's hardly the worst problem in my team. I could have taken Wilkie up, but like, who are you taking Wilkie up to, really? Premium defender? Who am I grabbing? Am I grabbing Nick Newman? Am I grabbing Callum Wills? Probably not. I haven't got Wang, but I don't want Wang until probably Carlton. Round 22 would be when I'd want Wang. Bont, I would like to trade Bont after this week. So maybe there's a world where we trade Bont up to whoever we want in the midfield. And actually, okay. There is a very realistic world where, I mean, look, Pickett should get Oishened, Oisin Mulland. And then Allen should destroy them too. Not Allen, sorry. And then Allen should go to... But no one from Melbourne's really tagging, right? So he probably runs pretty rampant this week. Either way, I think I'm pretty happy with these trades. I'm bringing in Garcia as a pick I have wanted to own for a while. I love Garcia and Hall. I think they combine really well. It'll give me another Saints boy. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 Saints now. 5 if you count Marshall and if he sticks around. So let's just take the captaincy off. Who do we have this week? Who are we captaining or VCing? So we can either VC Nick against Adelaide or Dawson against Collingwood. Probably don't want to do either. Don't really have anyone in this game. Don't really have anyone in this game. You could VC Luke Jackson against the Eagles. Maybe home ground option there. I could VC someone in the Bulldogs game. You could VC like an Ed Richards or a Bont against Richmond. Leave the captaincy available for Hugo Garcia to go huge against the what are they called against the Roos that night? Probably not. All right, well, let's just speculate for now. We put the VC on. I think we did the VC on Jackson because I think this is potentially a real money game here. And we VC him there, and then we put the captaincy on. Is it Bont against Richmond? Maybe. Or do we put the captaincy on like a Brad Hill against North Melbourne? Because that's probably a good game for him. I don't think anyone's... Look, I'm going to do that and that for now. Because Brad Hill, we've seen him do ceiling scores. He did back-to-back big games. Like, he could so easily just put up a massive score. I could see him doing it. Anyway, I will leave it there. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed today's video. And I will see you guys next week. Let me know how your team went this week, what your trades were, what your trades are going to be. Who is your favorite player? Who's the player you really want to get in? And who's the player who's just killing you every bloody week at the moment? Anyway, what I will quickly do is I'll do that, and then we'll put the emergency on Hugo, and that should be a bit better. Cool. Anyway, I will see you guys next time. Thank you all for tuning in, and as always, bye-bye. Thanks for watching. Please like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel for more creative gaming content. Now, down below me are details for all my social medias, including my Twitter account, my Patreon, and my Discord, which are all worth checking out, and details for my Twitch stream are just up here. There's also a brilliant other video you can watch right here. Thank you very much for watching. Good luck with all your endeavors, and remember to think just a little bit different.